try to answer everyone's questions either through the questions or in the chat. If we don't get to your question or don't answer your question, please reach out. We'll be happy to help later. So thank you guys all for being here.
Tammy's personal phone number is 867-5309. Get it? Just kidding. You can always reach us, tammy.dwight@cubicasa.com. You can reach out to her for any direct questions. I am Aaron Smith. I'm a director of sales here. I hail from the great state of Michigan, here in the Midwest. And I'm excited to talk and learn more about Tour alongside of you guys. If you have any questions, like Tammy said, we'll be in the chat and answering things there. But let's kick it over to Oppie to run the show. And who are you, Oppie?
Yeah, CPO. I think in the end of the day, my job is to keep you, dear users and customers, happy. And I think this webinar is also, once again, about that exact same thing. Giving you more tools to your tool belt to make better listings. Better listings means happier agents, happier buyers, happier sellers, and makes this real estate run. So I think that's why we are here. Also, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Nice. All right, so yeah, it's my birthday, so great addition to the day is to have this webinar. Of course, it's a little bit sad maybe to associate your birthday with work things, but we've been working for this about a year. So it's a big investment in time, effort. Our team's been involved in this product, so I think it's a really good way to also celebrate the achievement on this webinar. So the CubiCasa Tour answers the question how you can create a beautiful interactive floor plan from a 5-minute scan. That is the essence of it. And our agenda today is, let's look at it. What is the CubiCasa Tour? What's the product? Then the benefits of the CubiCasa Tour, the different parties in the, our real estate space, how to create a tour, then how do you get one through CubiCasa, and then our internal next steps in the development, what are we focusing on, and then questions and answers, and then we close the webinar. So here's a video screen recording from the tour. You can click on the floor plan, on these different photo markers, move between the photos, and control what do you see. You can also change the floor. So this house, for example, has 2 different floors. Same thing continues. You can click on the different photo markers and navigate through the home, see exactly the context where the photo is shown. Where is this bedroom? In what floor is the bedroom? How does it look? You can also zoom into the floor plan to see the extra details on the home. And of course, like if it's a you get lost into the floor plan, you can click on this button and then it zooms back and recenters the floor. There's also the traditional way to move through the home here. So use the carousel arrows left and right to move forward and backward in the tour. And then of course, like this is just like any virtual tour you would use. So you give this link to an agent, you put this link to the MLS, you put this link into social media, to the listing page, property websites. You can embed the link into the property websites as well. And then, users, consumers can interact with the content. What are the benefits? Of course, photographer benefits. It's a new add-on you can add to your listing packages. It's a way to showcase your photos and media you deliver to the agent. It helps your agent show their listings in a beautiful new way. And the greatest benefit for the photographer is the time saving. So I think we enable you to do interactive floor plans and virtual tours on a bigger share of the packages you sell than before because of the time savings. And we'll come back to this feature later in the presentation. Then as an agent or home buyer, you can tour the home at your own pace, control the movement, where do you want to go, what do you want to see. You give a better understanding of the home. I think photos are one side of the story, and then where the photo is the another side of the story. And if we look at the studies made by NAR, every time you ask consumers, what do you want to see on the listing? It's photos, property information, floor plan, and funnily enough, agent contact information is the fourth item, and then it is videos, virtual tours. So photos and floor plans, number 1 and 3, let's combine those, and that's the tour. You can embed these into portals, property websites, and of course share in social media for your prospective buyers or maybe future leads as well, if you are connected through social media into your area.
Api, just as a question for the group, I think the reason why we did this is also important for our customers to always hear. And I think from my perspective and talking to a lot of photographers and agents, one of the core reasons is now bringing together the floor plan and the image and the image itself of the home in a side-by-side and placement view that is, one, not manual, through the same 5-minute scan, and highlights your excellent work as the photographer, I think is a key thing that we want to call out here, because making sure that you also have the creative freedom and flexibility to add your work to those things versus just trying to grab an image from the scan or anything like that. We want to elevate your ability to have a bespoke image viewing experience alongside something that helps you understand the frame of reference of the room.
Yes, you are spot on. And I think the tour is as good as the photos in it in the end. If you are an agent on this webinar and you are not using a professional photographer, I would highly recommend to use one, as the studies always show that photos are the most important thing. And I think better photos make a better listing.
You can always find a preferred photographer or a photographer on our list right at our website.
Yes. Okay, let's have some math. You take your scan, the CubiCasa scan that you've been doing, plus your photos, and it equals the tour. That's what we need as an input to create the tour. So I think, like we've seen, most CubiCasa users, they use the scan. Every listing has photos. Of course, the photos differ. We prefer that you would use the high quality professional photos. You have the scan, you have the photos, and out comes the tour. So let's walk through the steps. Taking the scan, using professional photos. Here is a photographer at work taking the photos. Then you select the Plus package or Plus 3D package in the app. So when you are sending in your scan or uploading your scan, select the Plus order or Plus 3D for your order. Of course, if you have a recent scan after September 20, you can also upgrade your older scan to Plus and then add the photos to this tour. So that's one option. But of course, I think best results, we have the most recent data and such with the new scan. So I would highly recommend to use that. Then you go into the tour upload. So you can see here we have on the order page this CubiCasa Tour tab. So you go into that tab and you start to upload your photos. And during the upload step, you will be asked to select a cover photo. So from the grid of the photos, select the cover, make cover photo, and hit save and start to upload. And why this is important is that we will use this photo, the photo you select to be the cover, we will use it to create this social media image that is shown. And wherever you share this link, of course, it depends on the service how they treat these share links, but it's quite standard among the different social media. It will pull up the photo and the content that we add to it. So it's the address, there's a play button that it indicates that you can go into the tour, and other information. So it's an important step for this product. Then once the tour is delivered to you, it takes a few minutes. The average is 30 seconds per photo, but you cannot give an exact answer how long does it take, because the size of the photo is one factor, the size of the floor plan is one factor. So, it needs time to process. And if the floor plan, we have seen you guys upload like 30 megabyte photos, so it will take some time to process those. I think if you want to make the upload faster, the process faster, you should upload web grade photos, because the machine learning model doesn't use the full resolution photos. It doesn't have the memory to process it. So we will in any case compress them, so you don't get any extra benefit. Just use the web grade photos and you'll be fine and much faster. So then our model AI places the photos automatically into the tour. And right now we can locate about 80% of the images that you upload. And then the accuracy of the photo depends on how much there is overlap between the photos and the scan. In my testing, I've seen 100% accuracy, 100% matching rate. And then in the reality, now with the tours that we have created so far with users, there's like varying degree, but the average is 80% of photo placement. But you can increase this by making sure that if you have a photo from that spot, give more context for the scan so that we can efficiently match them.
Api, that's a good call out right there. Back to your comment about the time between scan and photos. If you do take days, weeks, or months between your scan and your photo upload, it will have a less matching rate. I personally, in our testing, I did a year between my home photos and the scan. It had about a 73% match rate, still pretty good, but things had changed across the house, obviously. So that's really great. Are there any other tips and tricks maybe that photographers can give their clients in their pre-shoot checklist that helps matching increase?
Well, I think how this works, you should think about how we as humans see this. Like, how would we know that it's there? So if it's on the scan and if it's on the photo, then we have a match. Like, we match these patterns and features on the image. And then the more we have those, the better like certainty we have that this photo is there. So good lighting conditions. And of course that, like you said, Aaron, that if the home is exactly the same, there's more likelihood. So same time of the day, same interior design and such, it will help with this. So I think that's any case the thing for photographers. So that is typically the thing. And then of course, like for the upload itself, these, like, we have seen tours that get like too many photos added, and then it becomes maybe a little bit hard to use for the consumer, and then you need to go back to the edit and remove and hide some photos. So I think better option is to select the photos you want to add to the tour and just upload those. The upload time will be faster, and then you will also have less like cleaning to do once you see the end result. So I think 1 to 3 photos per room is definitely enough, and you should be okay with that. Don't upload 75 for a normal home.
In the realms of today's AI, some of the most fun things are when the AI hallucinates. In our experience of this testing, have we had any funny matching? Has a dog returned as a cat? Has a window returned as a wall? Or anything like that you can share, Api?
We don't edit the photos. We don't touch the photos, so the content doesn't change. But if there are watermarks or something on the photos, the thing can invent stuff or see things that actually are somewhere else, and then there's a mismatch. So, I think don't add anything to the photos. That's a good rule of thumb. Like watermark will make it look different because now it thinks that there's an actual watermark in the space. It doesn't see through it.
That's
And
a
then
good point.
it doesn't see the world the same way as we do. We know that there's a concept of watermark.
That's a good point too, and a call out. We don't do anything with your photos other than use them for matching, and so that's the point of this product, is to elevate your ability to use your photos. We're not going in and editing or changing the image or trying to make it something that we like better or anything like that. It is curated by you.
Yes, and yeah, we will come back to this still, but the 80% accuracy is what it is right now. Wanted to get the product out, wanted to get feedback from you users, see it in the wild, what kind of photos we actually get in from real environments. And this is now the benchmark that we, of course, every week now until eternity will try to improve. And hopefully one day this will be 110. Okay. If there is something to do on the tour itself, what happened? Do you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, good. So if there's something to do on the tour editing, you can click on the Edit Tour button in the web portal, and it takes you to the Quick Edit tool. And then in the Quick Edit tool, select the right floor, select the photo marker icon, and then you can start to move around the photos. You can rotate them from this circle handle. You can upload more photos. So for example, you can upload, something that you missed, or there's a addition or terrace that we couldn't match for a reason or another. So you can still like drag and drop more photos to the tour, and you can upload more. If you want to hide a photo, there's this show in tour checkbox. Just uncheck it, and it will be hidden from the tour. And then there's this kind of an concept of the photo location and actually what is in the photo. So for example, this case here, the photo location where it is taken, it's in the, well, in this example, it's in the lounge. But what you see is, you could, of course, this is an opinion, but it can be the kitchen, or in this case, it's a kitchen. So you select what the room is, and then it highlights this area that where do we pull the label and then the room measurement information on the tour. So this is an important step to see that this matches. And we try to do this automatically, but there are moments where you might need to adjust. So good thing to know that what does this do. And I think this actually we changed already this week to be photo off, that tries to describe like what you are actually trying to describe here. And then you can change the floor and then move the marker to another floor if it was in the wrong place.
And this is a good place where while you're learning how you like yours to look, if you like to upload less photos, more photos, how you see if certain spaces are more cluttered, you can use that ability to curate and unselect and select which photos you may want to highlight there on your tour as well. So, and it may help tell you, if you think maybe, okay, it's actually, I take 45 photos every home, no matter what size they get. That's the package that I sell. Maybe it's better to have 20, maybe it's better to have 30. It's up to you to decide, and you can kind of learn and go from there.
Yeah, and maybe a fun fact, these photos and this floor plan was scanned at the different times. So we had this Airbnb rented 2 times, and the floor plan here was done by my goddaughter, 6-year-old Alva. So, you can use your goddaughter to outsource the scans too. Okay, then we go to the sharing. So this is the place where I mentioned before. In the web portal, we have this Manage Tour drop down. And then, here's the edit button, but then you can click on the tour sharing settings. And inside that screen, we have this link that you can directly link people to. You can share this link in social media, put it into the MLS, put it on your property websites, or you can have the embed code, copy and paste this. It works just like on YouTube embed or some other virtual tour embed that you can use. So same functionality there. But I would assume that most of the time you will be using the link and then the service will embed it for you. But there are special cases where this might be needed.
Poppy, quick question from the crowd. I thought this was a good time to ask it. Is there a place on the tour webpage where you can view just the floor plan and measurements without the photos? Or can you hover and get rid of those? Or what do you think there?
Was the question like on the tour to only see the floor plan?
Correct.
We don't have that today, but we have seen that feedback before that you could let's go back. Where do we have an example? So we could have a button here or somewhere like open in full screen, or here like a full screen button that would open the floor plan into full screen. But we are rather feedback oriented company. So let us know if you want that. And then we track the count of feedback we get for every feature. And if we get enough feedback, we will do it. So keep the feedback coming. Was there another question? Controlling the dimensions or the room measurements. That's actually my next slide. So on the same sharing settings, you can also control the visibility of the tour and the what is shown on the tour. So let's start from these dimensions and the address. So if you don't want to have the approximate dimensions on the tour, you can uncheck this box, and then they will be hidden from the tour. You need to update the link. So the link will change, and then it will remove the dimensions. And then same thing for the address. You can uncheck the address, and then this is actually something that once you save the tour, we will automatically pull the address away. We feel that this is a thing that you either want on or off, but the dimensions is something that you can control based on where you want to share the link. And most likely there will be more of these kind of settings. So also asking for your feedback that if there's something that would be great to have this option or that option, let us know what you want to control, and we'll see if that is technologically feasible. And then the access to the tour. So tour being active means that it's now on the internet, the link is live, and if you go to the link, you can see the tour, you can see the photos, you can see the floor plan. If you set it to inactive and hit save, it is pulled off from the link, and if you go to the link, you will just get the 404 page that looks like it never was there. And what we have seen typically with these products is that once the house is sold, you will unlist or put it inactive, and then no one can access that link anymore.
Poppy, one quick question before we move in out of more of a how-to. Question about vacant rooms. How good is it at matching vacant rooms without furniture? And can it still find the room, or would that be something you'd have to do in the edit function?
I don't have a scientific paper, peer-reviewed paper about this, but into my understanding, what I've seen, it doesn't really matter, because there are features in the furniture that we can use to locate, but there's features everywhere. If it's a completely white room, that might get challenging, but typically there are some features in the room that we can use to recognize the location. But like said, I don't have enough data to say that this is absolutely similar to the furnished homes. But good point. Okay, how do you get tour? It's included in the Plus and Plus 3D packages. So in the mobile application, or if you are upgrading your order, select the Plus or Plus 3D, and then you will get the tour or access to the tour, upload the photos free of charge. So it's part of the Plus package, no additional cost for the tour. Of course, the price differs in different parts of the world, but in US, the Plus is $15. Preferred photographers get 25% off, so it's $11.25. So definitely try it out. I think it's a great addition, and we'll be rolling out some campaigns later this month to, of course, give you a trial of the tour as well. So basically, the call to action here, going to the CubiCasa web portal, take your Plus order, upload some photos, and create a tour. It doesn't cost you anything. And then you can see how it works. And you can do this for any scan that is created after September 20. And of course, if you don't have a recent scan right now, your next listing, your next shoot, do the Plus scan and then try it out. Aaron, anything to add here?
No, I think, just continuing to add that with our previous webinar that we were on, the 3.0 launch, adding products like snapshots and the snapshot report and home report and adding Plus, I think what the goal here is to have the 5-minute scan continue to be a launching point for a high variety of rich media that then you can pass on to your clients, whether that be you're an agent or if you're a photographer, and still maintaining that the cost is, low and fair for you guys to go out and, upsell and cross-sell these things. I think at the end of the day, this 5-minute scan and this new iteration of a web portal viewer will continue to adapt and become a place where we place, new products and new experiences over time.
Yes. Okay, then sharing a little bit visibility into our development roadmap. So improving the automatic photo location. We know that it's not perfect, but we also know that we can improve it. Then I've already seen quite a lot of feedback of setting the photo order. So when you click through the carousel with the arrow buttons, that you could select which should be the order of the photos. So we're looking into that, and most likely we will do a twofold solution in the long term, which is we'll try to come up with a natural order with some algorithm, and then we let you to choose or override that setting if you so want. Then, like I said before, adding more settings for the sharing. So there are, a few things that we would like to do. For example, if you have an embed link, how does the scroll work? And there's a few options that you can choose from, and it improves the consumer experience. So that's one thing. And of course, like the cover image, if you have great ideas how we can make it more engaging, more approachable for the consumer, all ears. And then, like said, we got quite a lot of feedback in already. So we started to fix things and, here and there. And that's how we do this. So, now is a really, really good time to send the feedback, because we have reserved development time only for this product. So now is the time to send the feedback. And this is the only way we can get better. We are not brain makers here, and we exactly know what you want if you don't tell us. But I personally read every feedback we get through our chat. Our customer support, our amazing customer support, tags every feedback. And I personally read through all of that feedback and categorize it. And, that drives our priority for the development. That is my promise to you. That's how I do my job. So send feedback. Send feedback. Thank you. Then questions and answers.
It is true. I have met up with Oppie shortly after a good feedback day and a bad feedback day, and I will tell you that the long look in his eyes helps us get better in a product over time. So keep on sending it through all channels that you got. We don't have any open questions right now, so keep sending them in here. But I think one that I wanted to highlight here. Let me find it again. Um, just to touch on it again, I think you mentioned this with another edit, but after you select to hide an image, how do you update the final tour? Do you have to save, reload? Do you have to get a new link, or does it automatically do it?
So the link stays the same forever. So you don't need to update the link anywhere. When you hide a photo, you save the quick edit and you wait for the success message to be shown to you, and then the tour is updated. So it takes some time. I would say like some seconds typically to save, and then you will get the confirmation that the tour was saved.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, depending on your browser, and now maybe I'm going too deep into the technical things, but like depending on the browser, it is possible that for some reason you still see the old version, and we're trying to figure out in what scenarios and in what browser this happens. But I've seen it happen that it takes a few times, or you need to refresh the tour to actually see the change. But if there's a new person who goes into that tour link, they will of course get the latest version.
Got it. The old cookies problem the tech folks have told me about. Is it okay to upload an exterior photo for the cover, even though it won't be placed?
Yes, it is all right, and it won't be placed. However, I think this is a good thing to talk about. I don't know yet exactly how we will use this like cover and the exterior, but in my vision, typically you have the exterior twilight that is the money shot, right? And it would be great to be able to show that somehow when the tour loads or maybe waits for all the photos to be loaded or something, so some way to bake in that fantastic first impression that you do as a photographer, and then you go into the tour and you sort of have this virtual experience that you go through the home. I think that would be amazing. Right now it's just for the social media share that the cover image is used for, but I think we can extend that functionality into the tour.
Good call
And
out.
you can still place the exterior photos into the floor plan, but if they are really far from the floor plan, I think it's a little bit confusing experience for the consumer. So use your best judgment to think like, is this too far? Can the user really understand where it is? If you place an exterior photo and you navigate with the carousel to that photo, the floor plan will zoom out and show you that. But if it's like 300 feet away, it's still going to look funny. So, you can do it, but I wouldn't recommend. Use your judgment, what is aesthetically right and then what feels natural.
I promise this next question is not from me, even though I love it and I think it's a great question. Is there any API support, or do you plan to implement any such support for automation of sending the images through to your system to remove some of the initial manual steps in the process?
Would this be like in context of the photo delivery systems?
I think so, yeah. So Ario, Spiro, Rela, all those kind of ones, or even Dropbox and Google Drive connections that you could automatically send.
Dropbox, I don't know how we would send a link. Send us an example and we'll take a look. Photo delivery platforms, push feedback to them, because it's up to them to take that information from us and bake it into the packages, what they send then or what they host. But yeah, we can do it, and we are not a long way from that moment that we can offer that to them. So I think that is eventually going to happen, at least with some of the providers.
And we're working on it from, the business development perspective. We'll be starting some of those conversations in the next coming weeks and months. So hopefully, we'll see that progress go. But yeah, push that feedback to your platform providers, and we all kind of get along and work well together anyways. But nothing moves a company, as we know, like user feedback, as Appy has mentioned. So it's always helpful there. Another one here, I just kind of want to highlight. This seems to be a good competitor to Matterport without having to buy all the fancy equipment. Unfortunately, Zillow only lets you use Matterport scans on their showcase homes. Hope you can team up with them somehow so they'll accept CubiCasa scans also. So if you want, Oppie, speak to anything you dream of the future of ways that we can elevate floor plans, or how do you see this playing into, being able to view floor plans on portals or anything like that?
Yeah, I think like the more we get adoption for the tour, and given our reach in the real estate industry right now, I would say that it's a matter of time that they will be promoted. When that happens and who we need to talk to make that decision, I don't know yet. But I think it's the exactly same story with these other providers, that once you have enough reach, you cannot be ignored. And I think that's going to be our story as well. So use the tour more, and then, we will get there.
Okay. I think that's all of our current questions. Oppie, you got at least 7 to 10 happy birthdays. So happy birthday, Oppie. And Oppie's been working like a dog these past 3-4 weeks, along with our incredible tech team that has been building us out. And so we're super grateful for them and the work that they do and how this has come together. But again, keep sending your feedback. And I'm going to end with one more piece of Finnish fun facts with Oppie and Arne. Go ahead.
It's an honor to serve. Let's put it that way.
There we go. Oppie, is it true or false that speeding tickets are based off of your income in Finland?
Yes, I think the highest fine has been 100 some thousand euros, so 100 some thousand dollars. Yeah, it's insane, but it happens. Don't speed.
It does not. Don't get rich or die trying. There we go. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for attending today. Thanks for all the good questions. We're accessible and reachable after this as well. You can always reach us via email, chat, and things like that. Shout out to our support team for this week, and product teams and tech teams and photographer teams. Oppie, thank you so much for doing this on your birthday. We'll see you all later.